This presentation is about some of the hormonal control of implantation and the early embryonic development, and this is by Heather Carrion. After fertilization, it requires about 4 to 5 days for the developing embryo to move through the fallopian tubes to get to the uterine cavity. The progesterone hormone assists the fallopian tubes to relax in order for the embryo to reach the uterus. After the embryo reaches the uterus, it is then called a blastocyst. Blastocysts have outside cells and inside cells. The outside cells will become the chorion, which will surround the embryo and then will form the placenta. The inside cells are the amnion cells, and these will secrete the amniotic fluid. The allantois cells, which will become part of the umbilical cord, and the yolk sac, which degenerates early in the development. Implantation usually takes about 7 days after fertilization for the blastocyst to attach to the uterine wall. The blastocyst secretes important enzymes that will make the endometrium accept the blastocyst. Once attached to the endometrium, the blastocyst becomes engulfed by the endometrial cells. The blastocyst will continue to divide in the endometrium, and as it does this, it will become an embryo. The cells that will eventually become the placenta are called the chorionic villi. Enzymes from these villi break down the maternal blood vessel walls until they are surrounded by the maternal blood. Nutrients, gases, and waste exchange from the mother and the embryo begin with the villi. Most of these nutrients, gases, and waste exchange move by diffusion, but the maternal antibodies that are important to the fetus have to be transported across the membrane. The placenta secretes several hormones that prevent menstruation during pregnancy. The human chorionic gonadotropin, otherwise HCG hormone, the human chorionic somatomammotropin, otherwise HCS hormone, the estrogen, and progesterone. The HCG hormone has many functions. The first function is that it keeps the corpus luteum active during early pregnancy. Therefore, the corpus luteum keeps producing the progesterone in order to keep the endometrium intact. This again is secreted by the chorionic villi and the developing placenta. By the 7th week, the corpus luteum is no longer needed and it just degenerates. The HCG hormone peaks at 3 months and then is no longer needed as well. The second function of the HCG hormone is the stimulation of testosterone production by the developing testes in male fetuses. The third function is that this is the hormone that is detected during pregnancy tests. The HCS hormone has another name, and the other name is the human placental lactogen hormone. The first function is related to the growth hormone and prolactin. The second function alternates the glucose and fatty acid metabolism in order to support fetal growth. If this hormone is not produced enough, the mother is at risk for developing gestational diabetes. After delivery, though, the glucose metabolism in most women with gestational diabetes returns to normal. But these mothers and their babies are also at a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes later in life. Estrogen's function is the development of milk-secreting ducts of the breasts. And progesterone's function, which we discussed earlier in the slide, maintains the endometrium, and then it also assists in the uterine contractions. And this is my works cited. Have a great day.